What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Clever's Multiverse. And what we have today is the Iron Fist and Luke Cage double pack. And I know I'm not the first one to get this right here. I've been wanting this since I heard it was announced, but I just never came across it. And there was so many other things that have been popping up, and I've been doing things in my room. I've been needing like electronic upgrades, a whole bunch of things, and this double pack kind of slipped through the cracks. But let me tell you, I was in Target yesterday walking around looking for shelves, and boom, this was on a totally different section. It was not supposed to be there at all. So I grabbed it, I picked it up, I walked around with it for a little bit, and then I was like, yo, let me just scan this real fast. And when I scanned this, it came out to $29.99. So at that point, I was like, yo, there's no way I could put this back. $15 for Iron Fist and $15 for Luke Cage. These are the last two people that I really need for my collection to flesh out my defenders. And plus, I don't even have another Iron Fist. So let's open these bad boys up and see what's going on. All right, here we go. Iron Fist and Luke Cage. And not for nothing, this is the first time that I'm doing this under like a studio light effect. So it's supposed to make it seem like the light is on them, more like a spotlight and dark around the corners. Let me know if you like this or not. I might use this moving forward, but if you be like, nah, then yo, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, these two right here, I am very impressed with these figures right here. I wanted both of these figures from the moment that I saw that they was announced. I'll be the first one to remind everybody that I just bought that last Luke Cage that came out with the Marvel Knights, and I'll bring him out in a minute. And I wasn't really too impressed with him. I just bought him basically just to have him there. I mean, he was like the older school Luke Cage. I got it because I was like, yo, if I ever do wind up getting this particular Luke Cage, then I can say I have like, you know, the older Silver Age Luke Cage as well as the new one, so it didn't rub me the wrong way. I did skip on the MCU Luke Cage, the Netflix series, the one that came with Shorty, the one that's playing Ahsoka right now. I had to leave that alone. That wasn't for me. And I knew that would have been a throwaway, so I did not waste my money on that. But when I saw this one, I was like, no, first of all, I don't have any Danny Rand figures. I need him. I was holding out for the white version. For those of you who've been around that long, they do have the white version Iron Fist, but nah. After this one, I was like, you know what? I think I could stop waiting. I'm just going to grab this guy really fast. So I'm thinking we'll start off with Luke Cage because he has a little less going on than Iron Fist. In my professional opinion, if you want to call it that, this is a very good Luke Cage figure. I'm not going to sit here and nitpick these guys apart because if you're a part of this channel, then you already know how I do. I do not buy figures I don't like. I would have saw that I didn't like him through the picture, and I wouldn't buy him just to, you know, do him dirty. But with that being said, this is the most accurate one that I have, and I'm more comfortable with this one in my collection than I am with the one from Marvel Knights, which I'll pull out, you know, in a little bit. But so what do we have here going on with this guy? He comes with an extra set of hands and one extra head sculpt. Nothing too crazy, but it is what it is. I mean, Luke Cage is a pretty plain character. He's a pretty plain figure. Most of his, you know, abilities comes in the fact that he has bulletproof skin. So strength and bulletproof skin, that's what we got going on. So we can't expect too much from this guy. But so far, I like everything about him. I've seen the opinions on this double pack go both ways, mostly positive, but I have seen some negative ones. And like, I don't know, I've seen another one even this morning when they were complaining about the legs and how they look super straight and the thigh is not bigger than the knee. I think we have to take into consideration that the fact that these are like lower budget figures. You know, these are not Mafex figures. These are not Mezco figures. I love the fact that he has Luke Cage and the knuckles. It almost looks like brass knuckles. I mean, does he need brass knuckles? His skin is already hard as a rock, but you know, it is what it is. I do love the yellow one. This, it pops out to me. Has the Luke, has the cage right here on the belt. I mean, this is a very vibrant figure. It does pop out because of the yellow. The blue does match. I love the way this looks. It looks very quality to me. I mean, it's a regular body buck. It's a regular body mold, but this is nice. I mean, what do you want from Luke Cage? I mean, he's just a big dude in a t-shirt with some pants that looks kind of snug, and he'll give it to anybody that steps in the wrong direction. I mean, it is what it is. I like this guy a lot. I'm definitely going to put this guy in the display case. I'm gonna take out the Marvel Knights one, and just in case you're wondering, you already know what happens when you don't have a dedicated shelf space. You're gonna go into my Infinity War section. So let's take a look at the old one real fast and see how they compare. All right, so we got both of my Luke Cages side by side, and not for nothing, I really don't feel like this is a different type of figure. I feel like this is a different era type of figure. This classic Luke Cage is what I remember from like the Silver Age comics, and this was really, it was a Silver Age, I'm pretty sure, but whatever, you know, I'm pretty sure somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but this was the original one that I remember. Like, this is the one, like, if my father was around, he would have tried to pass it down to me, like, this is my Luke Cage, but you know, he wasn't, so I grew up with this guy right here, but I remember this guy. I love the chains. I love everything about this figure right here. This figure is very nostalgic to me. This makes me feel very old school right here. This figure makes me feel like, yo, but what you know about this guy? You know, and I feel like somebody won't know about him, like the newer people, the younger generation, our kids and stuff. A lot of yellow on the boots. I mean, you know, some things change with time and they get better. One thing I didn't like about this figure was the fact that right here it kind of cuts off and you can see the skin tone underneath. But you already know, I'm not the type of guy that's going to sit here and complain like, oh my God, Hasbro needs to get a new job. You know, I don't do stuff like that. It is what it is. It's a mess up. Is it the best? No, but it's, you know, a $25 figure. It is what it is. But I feel very comfortable having both of these guys in my collection because now I feel like I got the old school Luke Cage and I got the more modern Luke Cage. But at the same time, I don't feel like I missed that MCU Luke Cage. I love the actor. I love the show. I just didn't want the figure. And I don't know, am I the only one who felt that way? But this older Luke Cage right here is going in my Infinity War section to fight Thanos to make sure he doesn't snap. And then this one right here is going into my Defenders section. And even though they're yellow, this one, I don't know if the camera could pick it up, but the older Luke Cage is a lot brighter. This one has like a splash of mustard to it. And I do want to say one thing. Usually I'm a fan of this type of paint right here, the smooth X-Men 9/7, Spider-Man 2024, those type of paint jobs where it looks really new and really crisp, I really gravitate towards that. This right here usually reminds me of what we would get with DC Multiverse. And that usually rubs me the wrong way. But today, it does not bother me. Like, I really like this. It almost feels like those kind of like Sean John satin denim jeans that you might have had back in the day that have that shine to it. They don't fold perfectly over the sneakers, but you know, it is what it is. This reminds me of that right there. And I'm not mad because I have like both sides of the coin right here. So with that being said, I think that's an upgrade as far as the pants are concerned. We got the blue denim, we got the black, you know, we got the black shoes over here. And these remind me of the Tombstone shoes. Not for nothing. If you saw my Tombstone review, you'll remember that the one thing I really loved about that character was the fact that he had like patent leather shoes. I really love that. But anyway, moving forward, the new Luke Cage shoes are definitely where it's at for me. These are like older vibes, but it is more consistent with the comics. So that's where we at with Luke Cage. The bread and butter of this 2-pack for me is going to have to be Iron Fist, and for a couple of reasons. The first one being I don't have an Iron Fist in my collection. I mean, I've been waiting and waiting to come across them. I just never have, at least not for a price that I want. Luke Cage is popping, and yeah, Heroes for Hire is a duo that's great, but yo, Iron Fist is what I was really checking for. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Renew Your Vows body mold. This is my favorite body mold when it comes to Spider-Man. And for somebody like Iron Fist, I would definitely think that they would want to have that level of articulation when it comes to him. He comes with the 2 flaming fists, and not for nothing, he also has 4 sets of complete hands. So, you know, he has the closed fist. He has like these karate chop ones. He has the whole set of those. Then at the same time, he has like the kind of open fist hands, like he's about to do something hands, those. He has those on deck. And then he has these, which just like a little more open on some, you know, Iron Fist, you know, Doctor Strange, you don't know what you're doing with your fingers type thing. So yeah, I mean, I'll take these all day. They definitely showed more love to Iron Fist than Luke Cage, but it also makes more sense because I would think and know that Iron Fist is way more flexible and articulate than Luke Cage is. I have no problems with this paint. This paint job in 2024, I mean, there are haters out there who are hating on Marvel Legends hard body, but I really feel like in 2024, they have been stepping it up with the quality, the paint job. I haven't got anything with any blemishes so far, fingers crossed. Of the 2 head sculpts, I think this one right here is my favorite because it has like the action pose going on. This one looks more stagnant, like, you know, he's just trying to like press you like I wish you would. But in my situations, my guys are already going at it. So this is the one that I'm going with right there. If I had to pick and choose between the 2, I would say that Iron Fist is the better of the 2. But they are 2 completely different figures. One is very articulate and one is more stocky and brawny. So it makes sense that it would go like that. All right, so what do I think about this 2-pack? What's the good, bad, and the ugly? Well, I feel like this 2-pack right here is official to me. You know, I've been seeing 2 packs where I only want one figure. Like, for example, I've been wanting Pyro for the longest, but I don't buy Pyro because I don't want the rogue that he comes with. You feel me? This 2 pack, I'm surprised they even put it together in the first place. I could see them putting one with one guy and one with somebody else that nobody really wants and making you have to go out there and really put these two together. So the fact that they put the Heroes for Hire together, I'm ecstatic about that. I'm not going to sit there and cry about too much. I mean, Iron Fist on the Renew Your Vows body wave, I'm good with that. Luke Cage is looking tough, strong, big guy in the corner backing him up. I'm good with that. These two are going in my collection. I'm putting Iron Fist and this Luke Cage in my Defenders section, and then I'm taking my old school Marvel Knights Luke Cage and I'm putting up there my Infinity War section, and boom, I'm good to go. I'm filling up shelves little by little, you know? If you ask me, should you get this 2 pack? If you don't have these guys, I think you should. Until next time. Peace.